Oh, I don't have the clicking thing. The clicker? It's not here. And there is a JavaScript error on the...
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's right here.
Oh, thank you. Yes, are you coming here?
Yes. I'm ready.
We're live.
Oh,
So we are live already?
I was just told we are live. Okay, so good evening, everybody. Welcome to one more night of studies and reflections upon Spiritism and, many thoughts and ideas that we discuss here for our own evolution, our own growth. So I would like to ask everyone, I would like to invite you all to a short prayer before we begin. So if everyone would please close your eyes, if you feel comfortable, if not, just find a soft gaze in front of you on the floor. And take a deep breath in. And out. And you slowly bring your mind to the present moment. And let's thank our Creator. Thank God. Thank our Master Jesus. And our mentors for one more day, for one more opportunity to learn and to improve ourselves. And I ask the blessings, the protection, the inspiration of the good spirits to help me bring the message that's needed. And I ask the mentors of each one of us here present and away at home to help us all understand and absorb what we need from this study tonight. And with this, I ask permission to start our studies and reflections. So be it. Okay, so we will talk about gratitude. So gratitude changes everything. And I see that image of the lemon tree, and so I know that for many of us, as soon as we look at that image, we might think of a little phrase that says, if life gives you lemons, make a lemonade, right? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. So scientific research demonstrates the health benefits of gratitude. So scientific research demonstrates the health benefit of taking the lemons and making some lemonade. So that's what science shows to us, okay? And I read some articles, some scientific articles about it, and I found it very interesting. Now, I brought just 3 of them for us to reflect tonight. But I mean, if you want, after this, if you feel curious as I felt, please go ahead and read some more, because it's really interesting how just a simple feeling of gratitude can change our lives. One of the articles is, the title of the article is Thanks for Everything, a review on gratitude from neurobiology to clinic. And it was done in 2019. The author begins by kind of remembering the definition from the World Health Organization that defines health not only as the absence of disease, but as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So it's not just the absence of disease, but a complete physical, mental, and social well-being. That's what health is. And then he continues by saying that gratitude is associated with well-being from the experiential point of view. So just the feeling of gratitude brings well-being. And anatomically, in our bodies, gratitude demonstrates consistent relationship with the medial prefrontal cortex. At the molecular level, it relates with the neuropeptide oxytocin, which is a hormone that has one of the functions is to promote well-being in the physical body. Gratitude has been linked with better physical and mental health parameters, both in healthy and sick populations. So not just healthy people, but sick people. You know, just the feeling of gratitude brings well-being. And then another article, another research, this one, the title is Neurocorrelates of Gratitude, and it was done in 2015. For this one, the participants were induced to experience the feeling of gratitude. They were induced. They were not having real feelings of gratitude. They were induced to have those feelings while undergoing brain functional magnetic resonance imaging. So they were doing those tests in their brain. They were connected to the instruments to do the tests. And at the same time, they were telling these participants stories. And they were using imagery. And we know that images are, it's like the language of the subconscious mind, right? So they were telling these people, stories like horror stories about the war and saying, you are living in a war, in a very terrible situation. It's like a life and death situation. And then all of a sudden, someone comes to help you. And this person feeds you. This person gives you warmth and love and care, takes care of you. This person saves your life. What's the feeling that comes to you when you hear that? That's gratitude. So these people were induced to have these feelings of gratitude. And the results revealed medial prefrontal activity correlated with the participants' gratitude ratings. So they saw that there was activity in the brain correlated to their feelings of gratitude. And another research done, this one was done in 2018, so it was pretty recent. It says, does gratitude writing improve the mental health of psychotherapy clients? This is evidence from a randomized controlled trial. And this research, it was done in the field of positive psychology. Okay, so most, if not all of the research done about gratitude and the relationship of gratitude and health, they were done in the field of positive psychology. Now in this one, the participants were 293 adults seeking psychotherapy services at the universities. They were randomly assigned to one of three groups. One group was the control group. They just received psychotherapy. The other group was the group that, besides receiving psychotherapy, they also had to write expressive writing. And I will explain more what that means. And then the other group, besides receiving psychotherapy, they had to do gratitude writing. Now, the group that did psychotherapy and gratitude writing, they had to write gratitude letters, okay, letters expressing gratitude. And the group that had to write expressive writing, they have to write about their deepest thoughts and feelings and about stressful experiences. That's what they had to do, okay? So what were the results? The participants in the gratitude writing group reported significantly better mental health. And we know that health is not just the absence of illnesses. It's social and emotional and mental health as well, right? And the participants in the expressive writing group did not differ significantly, okay? Now, a doctor with whom I had the pleasure to work with, in one of his books called The Transformation, Dr. James Gordon, one of the phrases that he wrote really called my attention. Gratitude requires a shift in attitude. And then he has a chapter that has the title of this talk, and that's what inspired me to bring to research a little more about gratitude and the effects in our health. So in this chapter, he talks about this person, and this is a real story, okay? Jane. So Jane was dealing with cancer, and she was one of her patients. And one day she said, after working with him and doing gratitude journals, she said, I would not wish to have had cancer. And then she continued, it has been the most valuable experience in my life. I now know what's important to me. For the first time, I'm really alive. So the feeling of gratitude. And then this reminded me also about another doctor. This one I didn't have the pleasure to meet, but I saw an interview that he gave the other day. His name is Paulo César Frutuoso. Many of you might know him. He is a surgeon, and he is a researcher in the area of mediumship in Brazil for many years, and he has written some books as well. I haven't read his books. But one of the things that he said, he talked about an experience that he had when he was about to perform a surgery in a woman. This woman had a terrible bleeding. So she was bleeding a lot, and the situation was very difficult. And then Fructuoso, he is a medium, and he saw 2 spiritual doctors helping that woman that night. And he was very concerned, so was his colleagues, doctors in that operation room. And although they were concerned, he observed that the spirit doctors, they were saying, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And he was puzzled, but he couldn't ask anything. He couldn't ask any question at that time. That was a moment that everyone had to focus on what they were doing. But at one point, he had the opportunity to ask the spirits. He said, well, the situation and that was after everything was done and the lady was saved, the woman was saved, right? So he asked the spirits, at that time when that woman was like, about to die, and the situation was just, very difficult. I didn't see any reason for you to be saying wonderful, wonderful. Why were you saying wonderful, wonderful, wonderful? And there is another point, but that's for another time, for another study. Paulo César Frutuoso doesn't speak English. And the doctors were saying wonderful in English, okay? But he knew that, wonderful meant what it means in Portuguese, the same, wonderful. So a good prognostic. And so the spirits told him that was because although the situation was a difficult situation, her body was about to really, stop working, her mental attitude was wonderful. She was thanking the whole team of doctors. Her state of gratitude was immense. She was thinking that she was in that hospital, that she was in that room. She kept saying, in her mind, she was just saying, I'm so glad that I'm here. I'm so happy that I'm here being treated by these doctors. And I'm so happy. She was full of gratitude. So that was wonderful because that was changing her prognosis. She was just like her vibration was just filling the room. So we know that gratitude changes everything. Spiritism tells us, religions tell, throughout history, and science is proving it. Now, in the Gospel, according to Spiritism, chapter 5, called Blessed Are the Afflicted, I found some quotes that illustrate how gratitude is important for us. This one is a message from a spirit called Lacordaire, and it's called To Suffer Well or Badly. When Christ said, Blessed be the afflicted, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to them, he did not refer to all of those who suffer, seeing that everyone on earth suffers, whether they be seated upon thrones or lie upon straw. But alas, so few suffer well. A mere handful understand that only trials which have been well supported can lead to the kingdom of God. So many complain. Oh my goodness, it's so cold today. I said this a few times today. And then when it's very hot, oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. And it's making me sweat so much because this place is so humid. And then I say, well, I'm from Brasilia. It's so dry that it makes my nose bleed. I prefer here. So I have no complaints. But we complain so much. And this is not even talking about suffering. The chapter is talking about suffering. So how many times we don't do like that lady did in the bed, in the hospital bed, the one I just talked about. And then Lacordaire says something that I found very interesting. The soldier who is not sent to the front is discontent, because the resting of the camps does not bring him a promotion. So then, be like the soldier, and do not desire inactivity in which your body would weaken, and your soul would become numb. So, do we want to be soldiers and really progress? Because that's our goal. We reincarnate again and again to progress, to evolve, to become a Christ. We all reincarnate to become Christs. We are all destined to be light, right? to progress. And for us to do that, we don't want to be sitting in the bench. So he's talking about a soldier, and then that brought me the idea of a player in a game, a soccer player. Does a soccer player want to be sitting in the bench, waiting to be a reserve, and never have a chance to go play a game? If we don't play the game, we're not going to evolve. So then, instead of complaining, we should appreciate that we have the opportunity. We are here. Spirits tell, in the literature, in Spiritist literature, that there is a line, right, waiting to have a chance. And we are here. We're having a chance. So let's take it. Let's take it. And let's evolve. Let's develop virtues. And one of the virtues is gratitude. And then he continues, be content when God sends you into battle. This battle is not one of gunfire, but the bitterness of life, where sometimes more courage is needed than in bloody combat. Since those who remain firm before the enemy might weaken under the threat of mental pain. So it might be easier, to speak up about something. It might be easier to go to war than to deal with the war inside of ourselves. To pride, to jealousy, and to the complaints that we have. That's what he's saying. It's much more difficult. It's much more easy. It's much easier to deal with the situations outside of ourselves. The real war is within. When a reason for trouble or vexation, I forgot to check this one, touches you, try to lift yourselves above it. So if trouble comes, try to lift ourselves above it. And when you have managed to control the impulses of impatience, anger, or despair, say to yourselves with just satisfaction, I was the strongest. I was not the strongest when I spoke up about something and I went for a fight about something. No, I am the strongest when I can deal with my impatience, with my anger, with my despair. And I can suffer, I can deal with suffering well. And then a little quote from St. Augustine in the same chapter when he talks about evil and its remedy. He says, you must imitate the one who was given to you as the example. Having reached, and who is that? Who is the one? Who is our guide and our model, right? That's in the Spirit's book. That's our mentor, our master, Jesus Christ. So having reached the ultimate degree of abjections and misery, and while laying upon the dung heap, he said to God, Lord, I have known all the joys of opulence, and you have reduced me to the most absolute misery. Thank you, my God, for having willed to test your servant's soul. Thank you for having sent me back to reincarnate here. Thank you because I'm here, because I have this pain, or I have this, that, or this, or that. Because this is testing me. Thank you because I'm dealing with someone who is very difficult in my workplace, in my family. Thank you for that, because that is helping me deal with the war within me. Because that is reminding me now about what Luigi said in the other day. That was in Portuguese, right? That when we are dealing with difficult relationships, we are learning about ourselves. So thank you, difficult relationships. I appreciate that. That's helping me grow. So there is this person called David Steindl-Rast. He is a Benedictine monk, okay? And he has written some books about gratitude. And he has been working with people, helping people deal with difficult situations and therapeutically using gratitude to help them. And he says, the root of joy is gratefulness. It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful. Doesn't that summarize what we just read, what we just talked about so far? From the scientific point of view and from the gospel according to Spiritism, we are not happy because we're grateful. If we are grateful, we just become happy. We fill ourselves with happiness and with hope. Hope to be saved, that lady in the hospital bed. Gratitude changes everything. When we are not grateful, what do we see? What do you see there? Many people, I'm sure, will say that they see a black dot in the screen, right? A black dot. They don't see the white screen, the whole space around it. They see the black dot. And if you keep seeing that black dot, and if you keep seeing, and if you keep being ungrateful, and not seeing what's around the black dot, the possibilities around it, then the black dot just grows. We feed it, right? And then there's no other way, just suffering, just darkness, just sadness. Now, if we change the attitude, if we make that shift, like Dr. Gordon says, and like Lacordaire and St. Augustine points out, suffering well. The black dot's still there. It doesn't go away. You know, when I was younger, when I was a teenager, a long time ago, some people would joke, you know, and like criticize me in a way. Oh, stop being Pollyanna. And I read that book twice. I really like it. Stop being Pollyanna. But I mean, it's not a matter of neglecting my problems. It's not a matter of not looking at them and wanting to forget them. It's not a matter of not speaking up for myself and being firm about my beliefs. It's not that. It's a matter of being grateful for what I have, for life the way it is, to accept life the way it is, and deal with it, and find solutions. The problem is still there. Do you see the dot? The dot's still there. It's not going away just because I'm grateful, but I'm much stronger to deal with it. It's not going to grow, I guarantee you. It's not going to grow. Because I can see different possibilities when I'm grateful. I can see many possibilities. Do you still see the dot there? Tell me if you can see the dot. I didn't choose the color. PowerPoint chose the color, okay? It could be green around the dot. That's my favorite color. It's not pink. But there is pink around the dot. And the dot is there, still there. But I'm finding solutions. I'm finding other ways. I don't have a leg, but I can still walk. I don't have one arm, but I can still reach. I don't see, but I can still touch and move around. And so on. Now, how can one develop gratitude? Remember, I said gratitude is a virtue. We can develop it. Some people have more tendency to be like Pollyanna since they're young, but others can develop it. So we can develop it. How? One way is to pray, to thank God for everything. Do we wake up in the morning and say, thank you for one more day? This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I love that psalm. I went to a birthday party one day, and that was written on the napkin for the birthday party. And I never forgot it. I just kept it with me. I was going through a difficult situation at that time in my life. That was like about maybe 20 years ago. And I never forget. I kept that napkin with me. And I kept saying that every morning. Waking up in the morning, thank you, Lord, for one more day. Because this is the day you made for me. I hope I can learn something more today. And I hope I can do my best today. Thank you, Lord, for one more day. So if we don't do anything else, if we don't pray, but if we thank God every day for the day, that could even be enough to start developing gratitude in our hearts. Other things that we can do, science tells us, we can write gratitude journals. We can write 3 things at least that we're grateful for every day. I've been doing that. Really writing down, and really it's changing my life. Meditation. This house, I came to this house in the first place because of the meditation that it offers. So this house offers meditation. And we need to look into that because it helps us relax. It helps bring our mind to the present moment and be grateful for what's happening right now. What happened before, that's over. What's going to happen doesn't exist yet. So why worry about it? Let's be grateful for today. Let's be grateful for right now, right? Ho'oponopono is another technique that is very useful to develop gratitude. So just three little things, but 3 there in that slide. What was the first one? That's the most important one. If you don't do those 3, but you do this one, you develop gratitude, okay? Now, to end this study tonight, I brought a poem, and I'd like to read it to you. It's called Gratitude by Melody Beattie. Learn, and I'd like to ask you, if you can, close your eyes and just listen to the poem as a prayer or as an imagery that can bring some gratitude in your hearts. Learn the magical lesson that making the most of what we have turns into more. Say thank you until you mean it. Thank life and the universe for everyone and everything sent your way. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. It can turn problems into gifts, failures into successes, the unexpected into perfect timing, and mistakes into important events. It can turn an existence into a real life, and disconnected situations into important and beneficial lessons. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace to today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Gratitude makes things right. Say thank you until you mean it. If you say it long enough, you will believe it. Today, I will shine the transforming light of gratitude on all circumstances of my life. And I would like to just repeat here the first phrase of this poem. Learn the magical lesson that making the most of what we have turns into more. And the last sentence, say thank you until you mean it. If you say it long enough, you will believe it. And let's have an intention. Today, I will shine the transforming light of gratitude on all circumstances of my life. So be it. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to the reminders. Nice talk tonight about gratitude. We're happy that we were here tonight. Oh, listen to from the internet. That's good. A lot of learning tonight. So let's to the reminders. Okay, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, we are now transmitting our lectures through YouTube and Facebook. So you can get our notifications. Please don't forget to join and subscribe our YouTube channel, Broward Spiritist Society. Here. So you check that also, the default, the page, so all your notifications will pop up on your phone. Our meditation still continues happening, 7 p.m. here on our YouTube channel. Soon, we're going to be back here doing on-site our meditations. In the realm of mediumship, the study group of Tuesday, 8 p.m., except the second Tuesday, but now I think that we're having every Tuesday. Okay? Meeting online only. Our yard sale is going to be this week, right? So next Saturday, we're going to have our yard sale. We invite all to be here. If you're not coming to buy anything, come to help us with the workers here on this wonderful work that we do here with the yard sale, so we can pay our bills and continue open our doors. This week, we're going to have for our kitchen, chicken fricassee, and rice and salad. We ask all to participate in our kitchen, because our kitchen continue being the most strong source of income for our center. Call Go into the group, call us, go into Facebook, send us message, and we'll reserve it. So tomorrow, I think is the last day for you to order, but we'll take orders until late at night on Thursday and Friday morning. We have of dessert is going to be flan, right? Is that flan? No, egg yolk flan. Egg yolk flan. Quindim. Egg yolk, yeah. Egg yolk flan. Okay, really nice. All right, the dessert is only $3. And flan, also flan, of coconut flan. All right. All right, so I invite you all now so we can close our talk for tonight with a small prayer. We are very grateful for tonight. We're grateful for being here and acquire more knowledge, more tools, so we can walk this path, find a more moment of peace, moment of happiness, moments that we can find and construct our own evolution on this planet. We are very thankful for the talk of tonight that brought us more in deep in connection with ourselves, showing ourselves what we are capable of, showing ourselves what path we should take, showing ourselves how to be strong when encountered with obstacles. We are very thankful also for the spirits that are around us, helping us, illuminating our path, and give us strength so we continue fight our worst enemy, that is ourselves. So in name of God, in name of our Lord and Master Jesus Christ, in name of the mentors of this center, we ask permissions to finish the work of tonight. So be it.